Welcome back, Pride Nation. What up, though? Welcome back to another field review podcast show. This time, as you can see, I am with a subscriber. Just to talk a little bit of Detroit Lions football, man. Looking forward to it. I see we already got some early wonders in here. He says, I wonder which pill he swallowed today. I've always had the red pill, bro. I'm in the 10%. I've always had that red pill. What up, DSA? What's up, Colin Z? Listen, I'm going to try my best to have fun this show. I really am. But as always, if you come in here with the blue pill thinking, I'm just going to literally say blue pill alert. And if you're coming in here hitting on some hard facts, you'll get the red pill alert. But let's keep it respectful. We can disagree, but let's keep it respectful. So let's just go ahead and jump into this and just have a little fun with it. So today's guest, which I should have had him on a long time ago, but schedule conflict messed up everything. Today's guest is a subscriber, and it is one Mr. Smitty Sale 19. What's going on, Smitty?
Nothing much. I told y'all I'll be back.
Hey, listen. If I can talk football with anybody, I would. If you were to give me an option to talk football with a dog, I would. It's just I love this sport, and I love everything about it. But look, I'm excited to have you on and talk some football for the people. Let me see. Anybody else? So we got one pride in here. I was looking at the picture of Solid, and damn, this man is ripped. Well, the 40
airborne diet.
Man, look, the 49ers fan base and their writers already know he's as good as gone. What's going on, Frederick Jackson? He's in the building. Out of Detroit. Let's talk trash and have fun. All right, Smitty. Off rip. Like I said, I want to make sure that we are able to talk a little bit of football, man. So opening the show up, we want to jump right into a topic that I think needs to be addressed. Okay. And to me, that is the now known close to projected salary cap for 2021. And it is, what's the word I want to use for this? It's scary. It really is. It's scary. When you look at the salary cap projection for next year, this is going to blow a lot of people's minds because I wasn't buying this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show it and what it is. And I want people to understand something. These are not my projections. All right. Good people. Now, I got that up on the screen. If you need me to make it bigger, just say so. Matter of fact, bump it. Let's get big out here. So, right out the gate, I want y'all to pay attention to some things. All right. And the first thing I want y'all to pay attention to is we are on the Detroit Lions roster. And anything in red indicates dead money. Anything in red indicates money saved. So if it's in red, that means that you don't save anything. You save a negative 7 million if you get rid of Stafford right now. And you take a $32 million cap hit for doing so, right? And so if we keep going down, we see this. But this is not really what my dilemma is, people. Let me switch it to what my real dilemma is. And I'm going to have to switch it a little bit different. All right. Smitty, we're going to do our best not to lose our heads on this one. Okay.
I make no promises.
I'm working hard on this. I'm working hard on it. All right.
Let's just get that there.
So we'll do. Wait, what is this? What is this? Come on with this stuff. All right, so my computer want to act stupid. Hold on, let's try this one more time. Right here. Here we go. Smitty, you be on Twitter.
Yep.
Okay. And when you on Twitter, what do you hear?
There's a button. Trade Stafford, cut Stafford, cut Staff. The stupidest one that I've heard was trade Stafford and get a backup if, as you saw, the QB lists that are becoming free agents.
Yeah,
it ain't good. It ain't good, man.
Listen. Then some says, I just listened to Daryl Bevel's press conference from earlier, and it gave me vibe that Stafford is going to retire after this season. If he retires, the best thing that could happen to you. Like, everybody don't realize this, but when Calvin Johnson retired, that was the best thing that could have happened to you. Or we'd have had some bigger problems. Now, this is for my people who I want to talk football. This ain't about Stafford. This is about football. So, football people. So, y'all not saying I'm making this up. That says 2021. And the salary cap is 176. So, you may be saying, well, what's the big deal? The salary cap for 2020 was $198 million. $198 million. And this is over the cap, who is predicting that the 2021 cap will be $176 million. Now, if this prediction holds right, I want y'all to take a second to look right here. All right. If you see red, we're going to explain what this is. But I want you to look right here at the Lions 2021 cap space. All right. Now, they are projected to have $11 million. And that is based on contracts that they know are going to be there in 2021. Now, granted, that number can definitely change with the cutting of players or removal of players or trading, right? But Smitty, tell the people what happens if we decide to move on from one Mr. Matthew Stafford at the next season.
Well, that would mean no matter if he's traded or cut, we will be taking at least a $20 million cap hit, which will flow to the next year, thus making us unable to sign free agents, let alone the next draftees.
Now, in case you are wondering, people, why I started here first, it's simple. I really wanted you guys to pay close attention to this $11 million. Because if we got $11 million in cap money and trading and cutting Stafford takes $19 million of that away, do the rough math. Do the rough math. You got $11 million, but you got a $19 million bill. How much money you got left over? Y'all do the math.
I'm pretty sure the SOL fan base can't do simple math, let alone this.
I'm just saying. If we gonna do this, if we gonna talk about this, let's talk about it. Now, stay with me. If we only gonna have $11 million in cap space, $19 million of it to trade or cut Stafford, my question to you, good people, is where are we getting any player signed or anything done when you kill your entire cap with that one move? Where you get it done? Even if they split the money up half and half, $9 million on first season, $9 million on the next season, right? That's still $9. No, wait, that ain't even $9 million because it's literally more than $9 million. It's literally more than $9 million because it's basically what we see. 9 and 9 is 18, so it's 18 and a half. So that's basically $9.5 million. So $9.5 million coming off of your total cap, right? $9.5 million coming off 11. You got $2 million to work with. Now let me help y'all with something. You see the Bears? What that number say? 89. You know why it's in red? Because that's the negative cap that they got. The Bears gonna lose a lot of players, people. You think that's something? Let's keep looking.
And Luke, that's only for this year. It is not going to get better after this.
No, listen. This is football we talking, Smitty. Smitty, what do you think about this? When you look at just the division, Bears $89 million. I mean, 89. Well, that's like 89,000. Vikings, 8 million. Packers, 21 million over the cap. That's the division. Here go the egregious one. Saints, $95 million over the cap.
I don't think the Saints even did anything.
If these projections are right, I mean, what are you thinking about this? For the people who believe that the best thing you can do is trade or cut Stafford, with $11 million on the books, what do you think, Smith? Talk to me.
Well, I'm asking my fan base to suck it up because he's going to be here next year. I'm not wasting that much. I'm not wasting that much bank to lose a guy. Like period. That money could be going towards like a actual free agents, towards our holes. But if either way, where we trade Stafford, cut Stafford, even draft his successor, we're screwed.
Yeah. It's not to mention you got to still account for those draft picks. Now, Unintentional Grounding, shout out to him. He does have an awesome YouTube channel. He is a Falcons fan, but he talks football first and foremost. Shout out to you, Lieutenant Dan. He says this sounds like some stuff about Ryan. Yeah, they in the same boat. I looked at Matt Ryan and the Falcons thing, and I was like, woo, I don't think Falcon fans understand what this is going to amount to. But I wanted my fan base that I'm a part of, the Lions, to understand what they are asking. They are asking the Lions to improve and get better. And they want to do it by moving on from Stafford. Great. Move on from them. Take your $2 million in salary cap. What free agents are you getting? Let's sit there and say that we played devil's advocate, right? Because I'm leaving this up because I want people to see this. Let's sit there and say we played devil's advocate. We can go through and cut people. And I don't even think we're going to be getting back $11 million.
No, we barely get it back $1 million. I mean, come on now.
So you know, I'm just trying to point this out. Cut Amendola, and we'll be able to clear. No, he won't. That's the last year of his contract.
Yeah, he was just signed for a 1-year deal for $6 million. Oh, crap.
Right, and not to mention, on top of him having that 1-year deal, and I'm finna tell y'all exactly what it's gonna be, because one of the things I don't want to do is give you falsehoods. If the Lions decided that, you know what, today we just gonna go ahead and cut Danny Amendola today, they literally take a $4.5 million cap hit. So you would essentially be just for getting rid of him right now. They only saved $468,000, right? So now the question becomes if you're doing this, how do you do this in a way and make it make sense? You got to just let Danny walk. But again, this is one of the reasons I never understood why we gave him $6 million. I didn't understood why we gave $13 million to freaking Chase Daniels. Now, you looking at this, right, Smitty?
Mm-hmm.
Knowing this now, what are your predictions on the number of Lion fans who are going to say we still should trade him?
I would say that you're bad with your money and you probably haven't turned in your tax brackets within 5 years.
Now, watch this right here. See, look, here go that blue pill. Blue pill alert, people. Look at this. This is the NFL. They can manipulate them numbers. They could. But you're going to end up paying it either way it go. It's like death. No matter what you do, it's going to come. You're going to pay that bill. Ain't no getting up out of it. Whether you pay it now or later, you gonna pay it. And some teams have chosen to pay it now. Go ahead.
Compound interest in some occasions.
Listen, hold on. So you can dump all kinds of guys, but we do have a lot of bad contracts. Vitae, who you dumping him? Matter of fact, can I do that? Let me see if I can do that. I want to see if I can do that. Smitty, I mean, let's be honest though, Smitty. We are at a point where we got to get some things done, and we got to be smart about it. And one of the biggest things you can do, the cap will go up after next season. Are you talking about 2022?
I think he's talking about 2021.
Because if he's talking about 2021, that is what I'm talking about. They're saying in 2020, it was $198 million in 2020. In 2021, they are projecting it at $176 million. They're projecting it to go down. The NFL has lost a lot of revenues because a lot of people couldn't go to games. So if the cap goes down, like this is projecting, which, you know what, Smitty, let me just go ahead, Brandon. You know what? I'm gonna take this to the next point, because the cap go down. I have made this argument to Lions fans that you have to look at situations. If you are a head coach or anybody coming in here, who gives you the best situation? If you coming in as the Jacksonville Jaguars head coach and GM, you pretty damn happy about that $77 million, ain't you?
Oh, absolutely.
Not to mention the draft picks. That $72 million with them draft picks. You come in as the coach. All right, let's go through and look at who need a. Let's look at these teams that's ahead of us that need a coach. Let's see. You don't see the. Okay, here go the Falcons. Who want to go to the Falcons with that, knowing that they're going to be over 20, being over the cap? They got to start with that.
I'm not even thinking about that, man.
I'm just want people to understand. If we doing this, let's do it the right way, people. If we going through and we are talking about doing this in a way that makes sense, then let's talk about doing it in a way that makes sense. But let's also talk about why we're doing what we're doing. Because the problem with it is this. We can sit up there and act as if though we know the answer to things, but we got to look at the big picture. And this is why I am such an advocate for saying, don't just do things because you want to do it. Do it because it makes sense. Tell me the why. All right? So what we're going to do is play a little devil's advocate. All right? I'm going to switch it. Smitty. Because people don't want to hear me. They don't want to hear me. Cap would be 195. Let me see. I mean, that's not hard to get out of. If you hold on, Lieutenant, I should add you to this. Can I add you, Lieutenant? Because you as a Falcons person, you are in the same boat as Lions fans. Do you want to join this conversation too? Let me know, Lieutenant. Now, mind you, I'm on over the cap. I mean, I'm over the cap, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to have some fun with this. And I'm going to tell you why. All right, I'm finna send it. You send it to your Twitter account. I'll send it to your Twitter. All right, Smitty.
Mm-hmm.
If the Lions cut staff for next year, knowing that can mess with the cap, how attractive does that make the Lions for a head coach or general manager?
Let's see. You barely have a functional defense. Your wide receivers are beat to hell. Only 2 on a contract. And you just got rid of your franchise guy who makes the team possibly better with his mere presence. Why would I consider Detroit my number one? Why would I consider Detroit as my next stop?
I'm just saying, like, if the projections are right, if the projections are right on what they're showing here, right, then my question is to the people, what are we supposed to do with this?
Let's see. We cut Stafford. We can't get any free agents. We can't afford to extend people. So extend the hashtag extend Galladay is out of there. And not to mention, we could barely sign any draftees. So see. I'm thinking this cutting Stafford, even if we did draft a QB who is basically not guaranteed to stay there with this regime, we'd be passed out.
Listen, and the worst part about it, Schmitty, is this. Here's the worst part about it. Look at this statement right here. The big picture is our team is not good enough. And the quarterback's not good enough to carry this team no more. We're talking money. We're talking money. It's not even a quarterback thing. We're simply talking money. And our fan base can't get out their own way to see that we're talking money.
Hey, Luke. I'm sorry, UG. Don 19's really getting on my nerves with all this bull, all right? I'm not going to
Don is being sarcastic. You're missing it. That's all. You're missing it. He's being sarcastic. That's what he's saying.
I'm being sarcastic. Footing yo.
Yeah. Now listen, stay with me. We have unintentional grounding joining us. What's going on, Lieutenant Dan?
How's it going, guys? You guys doing well? You guys still living and breathing from the Stafford stuff? Are you guys okay?
Man, listen, I'm trying to get through it. My last video, I had to literally go full matrix and explain why 10% of our fan base are red pill takers and 90% are blue pill takers. And the worst part about it is it's not even a Stafford issue. I find it intriguing how people are talking. I'm like, yo, we're picking in the top 7, and I'm talking money, and we're still talking quarterback. No, we're talking about money. Make it make sense. Now, you, being a Falcons person,
okay,
you got to deal with Matt Ryan. And you got to deal with Matt Ryan's contract. And so my question to you is, look on the outside looking in as a fan of the Falcons, how are you gauging your team's cap situation?
So as someone from the outside looking into the Lions and kind of looking at that situation there are players that you could potentially restructure and take the immediate cap hits from others that for the meantime won't make you major players, but will open up money not only down the road, but will give you a small bit of cap increase this year. And I think that's important for most fans to understand that you don't have to touch free agency every year to solidify your team. And they forget about how, while they're not instant impact guys, the draft is the most important place to get all of your players. And I'm not saying, forego the free agent period and not add any free agents or send any of your own guys. But the way that it looks with you guys and the way that it looks with the Atlanta Falcons is very similar in the idea that if you have a cap guru, or, well, you don't even have to have a wizard of that particular sort, but someone just good with numbers, you can easily get out of the current cap situation you have in Detroit. And I don't think it's necessarily as bleak as people make it out to be, because we have similar fans currently in Atlanta right now, or content creators in general, who are spreading the narrative that because Atlanta is currently capped where it is because of Matt Ryan and Julio Jones's contracts, that it would be unrealistic for Atlanta to take, say, like a quarterback in the first round, because it doesn't make any sense. You're going to have Ryan here for the next 2 or so years. I'm very, very honest with you. This is easy to get out of. And Bill Polian even said it himself. He said that most of the teams currently in this year's drafting space and with their cap are going to be in for a big surprise, because honestly, a lot of people think they're stuck where they are, and that's not actually the fact. The cap isn't even set yet, and people are already lowballing the cap to justify certain narratives. So I would keep an open mind about utilizing the draft to its fullest potential, and then also at the same time potentially letting go of some of your heartstring players, your golden gooses, because they might be older and more broken than you want to admit.
Okay. Now let me ask you this. We're talking about manipulating the money, which is true, but this money still does come due. Now, if the cap goes up, let's say the cap is like 195, right? Which would be it's still going down, because the one thing about over the cap is they are very close to what those numbers are. Like really freaking close. And they have the cap at 198 for 2020.
198. Okay. Right?
198 for 2020. They're saying that what they're getting told is the cap is going to be at about 170. 170. Let me go back and look at it really quick. 176.
Mm-hmm.
So at 176, and the Lions got $11 million in space, it ain't looking good. Especially if you take $19 million cap hit and dead money just to move on from the quarterback. But what I wanted to do, and I wanted you Smitty's opinion on this is when we go through and do the process. Plus, I know a lot of people, because you're a Falcons fan, they're gonna want to know about Thomas Dimitroff. I believe he's going to be our next general manager.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get into it.
Okay.
But we gonna do something a little different. So what I want to do is I want to play with over the cap, because I think over the cap gives us a chance to play with it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give y'all a chance to look at the scenarios. Smitty will be up first. Smitty can kind of let me know what he want to go first, and then what we'll do is we'll figure out from there, what we want to do. Wait a minute, is this the right one? No, that's the wrong one. Let me get to the right one. I gotta get to the right one. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually allow y'all to play general manager, meaning you can cut. You're gonna be able to cut whoever you want, how you see fit, the way you see fit. And then what you'll be able to do, why does one just let me? Okay, let me try this. All right. Can you see all that?
Not on my. Well, I can see it on the Streamlabs thing, but I don't think. Yeah. They can see it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So this right here allows us to see where the cap at. They're projecting us to have a little bit over $2 million, but that $2 million is what they're taking out for the the rookie draft pick, the 5 draft picks.
So the draft class is pretty much putting you in the negative currently.
Right. Now, any person you want on here, we can cut, trade, do whatever you see fit.
Okay.
Starting with you, Smitty. Smitty, you ready? Smitty.
Let me just blow this up, all right?
Okay. We'll start with you, Lieutenant Dan. Let's see. We at the top. Here goes Mr. Matthew Stafford. Right here is the projected dead money, $19 million, but you could projectedly save $14 million.
So I always equate the draft class or where your draft positioning is based on what you're going to be able to do in the draft and move things from there. Now, if Thomas Dimitroff is going to be your next GM, I mean, you guys are pretty much, are you guys locked into that? Do you feel that?
I feel like that. I feel like that. I know other Lions fans want Rick Smith. I know some Lions fans want John Dorsey. We all over the place. But I just looked at what the Lions brass said. They want somebody who has experience, long-term experience, and has been in the mix of things in December and in playoffs and been to the Super Bowl. And when I go through and look at Rick Smith, he don't fit that bill. And then when I look at John Dorsey, I don't think they're going to wait till the playoffs is over to be trying to add a general manager, and the draft is coming up.
Well, the new rules currently state that you can talk to anybody at any time right now as long as the team doesn't block you. But most teams are just kind of waiting till things are done because no one wants to give their hand too soon.
Right. But if you are the Kansas City Chiefs and Detroit, Houston, more than likely the Jets, more than likely the Falcons are knocking at your door like, I want to interview your general manager. You know they blocking. They blocking harder than that ugly friend that you're trying to get rid of when you at the club. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not going to work. So my question is let's play devil's advocate. We are picking currently 7th in terms of the draft order right now. And if the Lions win this week, which I think they are, they can fall as high as low as 13.
Works for me.
If they lose, then they stay at 7.
Also works for me.
So I'm just saying. So we're gonna just go with what we currently at. We at the 7th spot. I'm letting you play general manager. All right. You are officially the general manager. Let's start getting us some money because we only got 11 million. Take the 2. What is it? We had a little bit at 2.2 million out of it. Who you want to start with?
I don't know if you want a Falcons fan to necessarily move around things on your team.
No,
like, I would go ahead and designate Matthew Stafford as a June 1st cut.
All right, so he's June 1st cut. Boom, submitted. $13 million. All right, there we go. Keep going.
How do you guys feel about Trey Flowers currently, and do you know who your current head coach is going to be?
I think the head coach is going to be Robert Saleh. He's from Michigan. That defense is performing, and I don't know who in the hell on it. Right? Like that's how impressive it is. And I think they're going to bring him home.
Most of their defense is made up of third stringers and second stringers, and they're still in the top 10 of defense.
Listen, I wish I could make this stuff up, but
regardless, I guess Trey Flowers is going to be. I mean, I'm just going to go on here to Trey Flowers' contract. I'm going to take a look here and just see what's going on here. You see,
I can look it up for you now. You ain't got to go.
I got over the cap right in front of me too, boss.
Okay, all right. Look, I'm here for you. Right at the gate, we already moving on from Stafford. We're picking, so we're obviously picking 7. So you're already locked in on quarterback for the Lions.
You still got Flowers for prime years, 28, 29, 30. You got him till 2023. Looking at cap savings versus money, you're guaranteeing him quite a bit of money.
Oh, yeah.
So it wouldn't be until 2022 that you'd actually be able to move him. So no real reason to get rid of Trey Flowers. I mean, I don't know what your homeboy would like to do, but Trey Flowers, what do you think? Keep?
What do you think, Smitty? You keeping Trey Flowers?
I'm keeping him.
You ain't got no. For me, I gotta keep him. This $6 million. This us not saving no money. We're gonna take a $26.8 million hit. Nah, he good.
I'm gonna cut the Desmond Trufant though.
Oh,
okay.
Now listen, man, you got a 1-year deal. He's been gone.
Listen, Lieutenant Dan, when we first got you fine, I was like, look, we didn't really upgrade from Slade. It's much of the same. He's going to be hurt just as much. Oh, no, he's not. I'm like, yes, he is. No, he's not. This was J-Mo telling me. J-Mo's like, no, he ain't, man. He only been hurt like that one time. I said, I'm telling you, he may have started some games. He didn't finish them. No. He didn't finish them. I said, I'm just telling you the truth. I said, I watched him.
You don't let that contract keep going. I'm not saying that Desmond Trufant's a bad player. Let's be honest. He can't stay healthy, and with Atlanta, he couldn't stay healthy. So he's on the back end of his career.
So we cutting him
as a corner. He'll probably end up on somebody's defense like the Seahawks, and end up playing a year or two more, and then he'll
I could see him. I could see him ending his career in Seattle.
And plus, I'm okay with y'all saying cut him because we still got Amani, and apparently we got the best shutdown corner. Remember, Lieutenant Dan, that was the last time I had you on. I think when I was like, Okuda's not a top 10 pick. I remembered, it just came back to me that quick. You remember that conversation?
I remember it vividly.
I was like, yo, he's not a top 10 pick. I don't know, man. He shut down. I'm like, he ain't win against nobody. I don't know, man. They didn't get no catches on him. I'm like, but that front 7, I don't know.
So you're paying like $19 million for an outside linebacker, and then another 11 or 12 million for another outside linebacker. What you doing, man?
Listen, this ain't me. This is
you got Trey Flowers and Jamie Collins running around like.
Listen, this ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm just here so I don't get fined. All right. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Now we got to keep going. So are we cutting anybody else? Let's keep on going.
Well, I mean, I haven't gotten a really good look of I could sit here for 30 minutes and go through a bunch of coaches' films real quick on my own end and take a look at what the Lions have done. But I'm thinking the Lions have been pretty trash, right? Pretty much like the Falcons, huh?
Yeah, they're garbage. They high, even though when we beat y'all, I was like, yo, I told all the Lions fans, and I got chewed out about it. I said we really was giving the game more than we wanted. We still to go down and score. It didn't matter. It was a shootout. And had they been smart and just took a knee, the game is over. You take a knee, call a timeout, and get the field goal. It's over. Done. Deal.
I would also cut Jesse James as a June 1st cut. Now you have $29.2 million. I mean, that's workable enough for you to then start working because TJ Hawkinson needs to take the next step up for you if he's worth it.
Nick Williams, he's on a 1-year deal, so his contract automatically falls off. Once the new year starts over was it a 2-year deal? I'm trying to remember what it was.
It's a 2-year deal from what I.
Yeah, he got to go too. Because look, we take a $1 million cap hit, but we saving 4.7, so he's got to go.
Okay, so so I mean, I guess if you also cut him,
yep,
you're looking at $33.9 million. $33.9 million should be able to shore up.
Now, keep in mind, we have yet to sign Kenny Galladay, and most Lions fans want him back. Listen, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Don't judge me. Can I please listen, Smitty, Lieutenant Dan, is it okay if I just add Chase Daniel to this list? Can we cut him, please?
Go ahead.
I mean, because at this point, with this is saying that your starting quarterback is probably David Blau, or some free agent, which I find stupid. But okay, so let's say I can't do the Chase Daniels. He should have never been here. We're just gonna cut him. All right, now Danny Shelton. I thought he only had here's a 2 years too.
Okay, but remember, every single cut that you make in order to gain this massive bravado of money is not necessarily going to fill the holes that you're looking to fill. Remember that the cap and the cuts that you make have to go hand in hand. So look at who we have cut up to this point. You've cut a tight end.
Yep.
That you have a tight end for, but now you're going to have to add another tight end to the roster.
Well, they got Brian.
And how's Jeff Okudah doing?
He a safety.
Wait, what? You guys put him at safety?
No,
wait a minute.
I'm saying he should be playing safety, but he's going to be corner. And then they got Hunter Bryan, but I don't know if the new regime is going to like Hunter Bryan. But so far, let's see where we at. So right here we at what, 36 million? Okay, so let's keep working our way down, and we still got to re-sign some people too, because over here is all the pending free agents over here. So are we ready enough to sign Kenny Galladay back? Are you okay with that?
How much is he asking for again?
Last time rumors were that he was getting he wanted to basically be around 18, 19 million a year.
Anyone see a problem with that?
I do. Hell yeah, I do. I don't have it. Listen, if they sign him, I'm not going to be mad at it. But if they don't sign him, I'm not going to kill him neither. Because I believe that games are won by receiving cores, not top tier receivers. I mean, hell, y'all got Julio Jones and y'all picking 4. Y'all got Julio Jones and the other dude, Ridley, and the other guy. What's his name?
Well, here's an interesting discussion that I've been having with Falcons fans for a little bit, and we've been trying to find teams to offload Ryan and Julio because it's only natural for a new GM and head coach to want their own guy, and they've apparently already been given permission to anyone who steps in, from Arthur Blank and Rich McKay, our general manager and our football operations specialist. Those guys have already been given the green light. If you want to move Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, you can move Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. That's not a problem.
Okay. So
the question is, would you re-sign Mohamed Sanu and put Julio Jones out there?
No. No. Why? If I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna take the younger talent and Kenny Galladay and just go with it because he's younger.
Hold on. The reason why I say that, not just to be like interject Falcons talk in here, but what if you drafted Trey Lance and had Julio Jones and say Galladay with you up there in Detroit, and give this guy an opportunity in Trey Lance to be able to work off of what you'll get out of Julio Jones and your other wide receivers, allowing you to then be a little more of the aggressor instead of someone that's kind of turtling and trying to build something and then go out and do something.
Yeah, here's the problem with that, Lieutenant Dan. That's a Lion move. Everything you said described the problem with the Lions.
And if you hire Thomas Dimitroff, he'll want to get players that he knows, that he understands from the job.
I totally understand. But the difference between this Thomas Dimitroff that I think we're going to take and what you guys had is he's going to get checked and balanced by Chris Spielman, Barry Sanders, and the rest of that committee who's going to be having say-so on things that's going on. Like it needs to make sense.
Paint the wrong picture of Thomas Dimitroff, the general manager for the Atlanta Falcons, versus the potential general manager for the Detroit Lions, and here's why. The Detroit Lions version of Thomas Dimitroff will most likely still have the same freedoms that he had in Atlanta.
True.
The problem with the Atlanta part is that you had coaches that had a shopping list, but they didn't specify what they wanted from the grocery store. And then on top of that, you had terrible development from the coaching staff itself on all levels. So no matter what Thomas Dimitroff was going to do, the failures were going to end up anyway, because you had a player's coach, a guy who did not care about the current organization's cap space and was more invested in keeping the group together to make a run back at the Super Bowl. That's the reason why this whole Dan Quinn, Thomas Dimitroff development fell apart, and why also his immediate work in 2008 to 2014 with Mike Smith, when they drafted Matt Ryan, he fell off of that one as well, because there was barely any development from the draftees. So Thomas Dimitroff is great at acquiring talent, and his track record as a guy that put out contracts is probably about 60-40, because he basically allowed Atlanta to have the flexibility this coming season to have a lot of dead cap, but honestly open up more than enough space to have the draft class, a couple of free agents, and then in 2022 have so much cap you don't know what to do with.
The best part about this, though, I love that you are a Falcons fan, because I was gonna shoot you a message anyway. Like, we got to talk about this, because I really think we getting Thomas Dimitroff. Smitty, hearing what Lieutenant Dan has said in terms of Thomas Dimitroff, do you if the Lions went after him, would you be okay with it, or is there another general manager you prefer? Now, while this is happening and you're talking, Smitty, I'm going to ask Lieutenant Dan to keep going through and find me some cuts, because that $36 million I don't think going to be enough.
I'm not putting all my I'm not putting all my apples with Dimitroff. I still think there are a couple of good GM aspiring to be a GM for the Lions. So I can't afford to have a pinpoint a favorite right now.
Yeah, I think that the list is long into it. Now, I can tell you right now, what I would do would be a little bit different than what you guys are doing, but I want to kind of give you guys a chance to work off each other and just kind of tell me what you would be. Lieutenant Dan, you got some more people cut already, or no?
I haven't cut another person. I mean, Nicholas Williams was cut, and then of course, obviously Chase Daniel, because what's going on with the situation. But I don't know your team well enough, and I don't want to just be like,
let me get in there.
The ultimate cuttings just like continue to cut. What's the ultimate goal here? Why are we cutting so many people? And what are we trying to achieve in free agency? What are we trying to grab?
Well, one of the reasons we're cutting so many people is because we're 35 points away from matching our defensive total from 2008. And in 2008, we also went 0-16. So 35 points. If the Vikings scored 35 points, they would have matched the same total of points given up by the 08 team that went 0-16. So I believe if Robert Saleh is coming in off rip, it's a number of defensive players who will not be here. So for me, Christian Jones would be cut. People like
you have to base this off of Robert Saleh's defense and the type of players that Robert Saleh
which is a wide nine, athletic linebackers and a athletic smart.
Dan Quinn's defense just run more structured. So basically what you're doing is you're getting a 3-man deep zone, and you're getting wide nine. You're getting tweener outside linebacker defensive ends to play on the edges, and your interior is going to have a 3-tech and a nose tackle or 2 4 eyes.
Right.
Which are basically just 2 3-techs that are really good at pass rushing.
Right. But Christian Jones don't fit none of that.
Right. Trey Flowers would fit that. Trey Flowers is going to fit one of your 4 eyes, which is fine. That can be somewhat of what you're looking for, like a kind of a Michael Bennett-esque type of guy. But then you're going to need to find more dudes that fit that same mold. And then your athletic linebackers means that your linebackers are going to probably have to be a little bit smaller or more rangy.
Which is why I keep trying to explain to people that Jared Davis is not going nowhere and should not go nowhere. But they want Michael Parsons. And I'm like, it's essentially Jared Davis. They both can tackle. They both can blitz. They both have trouble in coverage.
Okay, but then who's your quarterback?
Well,
if we've just cut Matt Stafford and we've also taken out Chase Daniel, right?
Right.
Then you're sitting at the number 7 pick. Let's just say that you end the season at the number 7 pick. I wouldn't, and especially if Thomas Dimitroff is your GM, I would not be too surprised if you take a quarterback round 1. And then that smashes all those quote unquote hopes and dreams of taking Parsons or any of these athletic linebackers. But the thing about this class, though, is that the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th rounds have defensive talent that fit a 34 defense, which is kind of the style of player that you need.
Talk to the people. This is my point. I made a statement that says if the Lions are picking in the top 12, they have to take a quarterback. This is my belief. That they have to do it because I said I don't believe in 2022 we're going to be picking in the top 10. I don't believe that. I don't. Especially if Robert Saleh is the head coach and Dimitroff is the GM. We're not picking in the top 10. We're not. Because the turnover and stuff is going to be different. And so when you change that all around, it all lines up. So for me, when you point that out, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to still be able to get a lot of defensive guys in those later rounds. Like, that's my projection. That's my belief. And that's why I said I wanted to go through and do this. Now, if it was me, and I'm telling you, even with Thomas Dimitroff, I'm telling you, we're not cutting Matthew Stafford, not even as of June 1st. And I'm going to tell you why. Even with the cuts that we made already, you still got $18 million, right? Now, let's say you still want to turn around and you want to, well, you can't franchise tag Kenny because that's $18 million right there. But there are so many people on this defense that will not be coming back. Like Will Harris, he's not. I doubt he make it back. When you go down the list, some of these people who are going to offer more cap space, like a Deshaun Hand, might be suspect. Julian Arcor is an athletic, rangy guy that can play that outside position like we talked about. Austin Bryant is one of those people that can probably play that position like we talked about. But for the most part, most of these defensive players is gone.
But you can't pretend that you're going to just cut everybody and their brother because you still have to field a roster of 53. So there's going to be some guys that are going to make it through the cracks. Plus, I think a lot of the guys that are on the lower rate wages or guys that have a little more of an athletic profile on your team or something that they can kind of work with going into the next season are going to make your squad. So
agree.
Let's be careful. If you're making me the GM, if you're basically making me Thomas Dimitroff, because I've thought like Thomas Dimitroff for a while, if you're going to do it, you're probably not going to make as many cuts as you think you are. You're probably going to hit somewhere around that 15 mil range. You might go after a quarterback first round, but the rest of the defense might have to work off of what Saleh wants for the first year with a few defensive additions in the draft. And then by year 2, really start to see that defense shape out as more of the aftermath is cut off and you get more muscle. More of the fat's trimmed.
Okay, Smitty, what do you think about that? I mean, do you see a scenario where they are keeping people, based on what Saleh wants? Because this is my belief. I believe that Saleh's going to be the head coach. The 49ers beat writers know that he's going to be a head coach, and a lot of them are predicting that he's going home. That's what they are predicting too. If that happens, do you think that Saleh keeps a lot of the people from this defense?
Hell no.
Why not? Tell me why. Talk to me.
Well, first of all, the people that were brought in before Saleh got here were based on Matt Patricia's defense, which were basically slow, lethargic, and couldn't even rush the passer if they wanted to. But with Saleh, I do believe he'll keep a couple, like say
let's see here. Junior Cora, Romeo, possibly, and even John Pennicini there because they fit his defense.
Yeah, I think those guys do fit the defense. But I'm also looking at those guys that they can free money up. And so I saw this question. Let me go back to it right here. Top Dog. He says, why do we need all this money? No BS. Because there's this thing called free agency. So you go if you're re-signing Kenny Galladay, that should help release some cap depending on how they structure it. But then there's this thing called free agency. And so with the free agency side of it, you want to have that money. And for me, I see a lot of people who wouldn't work in his defense.
Are you trying to say that you would take, because again, I'm trying to figure out why you need so much money for free agency because as far as additions, because the way that I look at it, you see the group as a whole, the more money you're stacking up, the more it feels like you're trying to get a quarterback in free agency.
Well, no, the money you're stacking up, you're going to draft a quarterback, period, at 7. You're going to grab it, period. But the thing that I'm pointing out is that I have noticed that every time a head coach comes into a new team, whether they're a former head coach or coordinator or whatever, they always go in free agency and grab 1 to 2 of their guys. I think we're going to bring Solomon Thomas here. And I'm trying to think of the other dude.
Yes. Please, Solomon Thomas.
What's the other guy? The cornerback, he started playing good late. Witherspoon?
Akilo Witherspoon or Tart.
One of them two is not. They're not coming back to the 49ers. So I think he's going to get 2 of his guys to come in here. Period. So if he's going to get those 2 guys to come in here, and on top of that, we still got to figure out who else he can add because our safeties are terrible. They're terrible. Like Will Harris, hot garbage. He couldn't cover poop with a king-size blanket, right? And then we go to Deron Hartman on the last year of his deal. He'd rather get hit than do the hitting. And so to me, I think that they're going to sit there and go and tackle the defense to bring in people that can get people on board and that know what he wants from them and come in and hit the ground running. Everyone does it. Everyone.
At least for Salas people, they'll be a little bit more athletic.
I mean, look what Patricia did. Half these guys here are because of Patricia. Deron Hartman never been a full-time starter for the Patriots. He was here. Tavon Wilson has been on the Patriots, the Detroit Lions, and now the Colts. And the only place he really started at was Detroit. Those days of starting backups as starters is over. But go back to Jim Caldwell. He brought in people like Dwight Freeney, like people that he knew, and they all do this. And so I'm just saying, I believe that they will free up money to do just that.
Yeah, but please let us get Solomon Thomas. I've been absolutely in love with this dude since he got drafted, man.
You know, and that's what it boiled down to. See this right here. Look, see Lieutenant Dan. You see this? You see this, right?
Okay.
Everybody see this. This is that blue pill fan I be talking about. Look at this. You're wrong again, Luke. Do your research. Don't say why you wrong. Don't say what you was wrong about. Didn't explain anything to what this situation was. Just wanted me to know that I was wrong.
Luke, right. At this point, you got to know the difference. People got to know the difference between who's really helping out and who just there to complain.
Well, listen, blue pill people. Now, Lieutenant Dan.
Come on, Luke. Come on, man. You gotta admit when you're wrong. When you're wrong.
You got to. You got to. Not sure what I'm wrong
I'm
about.
Joking, man. I'm joking.
Listen, but look, Lieutenant Dan, I know, but I'm saying, like, not sure what I'm wrong about. But if you're going to tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong.
Well, of course, Luke, it's obvious. You're just wrong. It's all right.
Clearly,
yeah, man. Just take the L, bro.
So my question is to you. Now that you hear my logic for why I believe we're going to free up money, do you not see it? Like, do you not think that he's going to bring in some of them guys who's leaving the 49er defense?
Well, if it really is Thomas Dimitroff and Robert Saleh, then you have a very similar situation with the Dan Quinn situation. Only at least this time, Thomas Dimitroff will be a little bit smarter with the idea that he's not going to be a player's kind of guy, and he's going to make tough decisions when he needs to make tough decisions. So I would expect not only the roster to have a realistically large makeover, but I would also see Robert Saleh probably not get every single person that he wants, because there is a limit to capability, and also the team's actual build. So Saleh might come in here and he might get Solomon Thomas, but he might not get anybody else, because Thomas Dimitroff, he will probably want to see Robert Saleh succeed with Solomon Thomas as one of his main guys, and start building around that possibility, instead of just going, yeah, there's a lot of really good players that Robert Saleh knows, and he would love to bring as many as he could, but just because you have the cap doesn't mean you should spend it. Just because a guy knows a guy, you know?
True. I'm just going with two people. Now, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but I'm trying my best. Zert 1K. He says, what about signing Leonard Williams and Jadeveon Clowney? See, look, I'm telling you, we need the money. people, look, the fans.
But that's just fan talk, though, right? Like,
fair enough.
Leonard Williams and Jadeveon Clowney. It's like, Luke, you guys, and Smitty, you guys could build around Robert Saleh's defense. You could build around it. But remember, and let's not forget, didn't the 49ers have like 5 first-round defensive draft selections
Facts.
that he's been playing with over there in San Fran?
Which is one of the reasons
that's a lot of help.
It was one of the reasons I was going to bring up for why I was a little hesitant about Saleh. And I'm like, yo, they really, like, though some of that talent was just like, you couldn't, they stumbled upon it, like, basically. Hold on. I think he responded to what I'm wrong about. Next year, if Stafford is still the quarterback, the season will be a wash. If you draft the right quarterback, we might have a chance.
That's just an opinion, though. I mean, this is literally the same talking points that are happening with the Atlanta fans. You're getting people saying that if we get rid of Matt Ryan and we put the right people in place, that a young QB can begin the development process. And then there are those who are out there that are saying that without Matt Ryan, we're not going to be able to win, and Matt Ryan can work with any offense and be able to succeed in any offense as long as we have a good coordinator. I think both of those are gambles in their own right. And I think the same thing is happening here in Detroit, where you're about to grab a bunch of new pieces. You don't know if they're going to mesh together or the cogs are going to work. So at the end of the day, it's a nice dream, sugar plums and fairy dust, to think about Thomas Dimitroff, a decent GM, and Robert Saleh, a pretty decent DC, to come in there and actually, fix the thing. But you don't know if they're going to mesh well together as head coach and GM. You don't know if they can build this up in 1 year, which is kind of what it sounds like, Luke, what the fans want, or at least what the plan is.
Lieutenant Dan, this is what they say. Everything is the quarterback fault. It's all. It's everything. We've been losing because of Stafford. That's what he's saying. We've been losing because of Stafford. It got nothing.
Your defense isn't just giving up points, right?
No.
Can't tackle.
Listen, this is why I said we got 90% of blue pill taking fans. They really believe. They really believe that that's the problem. If you read that statement for what it say, next year, if Stafford is still the quarterback, the season will be a wash. Essentially saying it's going to be a wash of Stafford. But if you draft the right quarterback, we might have a chance. He's literally saying that this is all Stafford fault. Remove Stafford, this team is better.
I'm sorry.
Listen, that must be some good smoke you got over there. I'm not judging you. No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Hey, I don't know, because I actually work in that industry, so I don't know what Smitty's smoking, bro. But I actually work in that industry, like for real. I'm with feds, so like, Smitty, you better put that in the box, okay?
But listen, now stay with me, Lieutenant Dan.
Yes,
I want you to see something. I want you to see the difference in the response from the fans, because it does make a difference. Like, Bob Quin had a great scouting system. Look at our late round draft picks, succeeding in different teams and For at least a lot of trades, you can't blame Quin for players like Quandre Diggs wanting to leave. Quandre Diggs didn't want to leave. Matt Patricia wanted Quandre Diggs gone because Quandre Diggs was speaking out against Matt Patricia and the stuff he was doing. There was even a story where one player said that, which was Snacks Harrison, who said that they was in a meeting and that Matt Patricia told him to be shading in the A gap. And he was like, I told him, don't be putting me in no shade in the A gap. It just make it easier for them to double team me, put me over the center and let me kick his butt. And he said, if he say anything to me, I'm going off. Well, he did. and so Slade and Diggs basically was like calming him down. And Diggs basically made a comment like, we know you right. He know you right, but he not going to say it. And then it just started a snowball. These are all the multiple stories that have came out.
In hindsight, Diggs was not wrong about that. Him being in the gap.
What's going on, Num? I see Numbers is in the building. Let me see what else we got going on here.
He was not wrong.
It says, I've been right all season, Luke. Yeah. I mean, like I said, you ain't gonna get too many people telling you wrong without any logical statement behind it. Lieutenant Dan. Now, let me just show you. I'm gonna just go back to the cap because I think Austin Bryant stays, but I think Deshaun Hand leaves. The value for return is there. Plus, he's on the last year of his deal. And I think they are going, like you said, if you look at Robert Saleh, he does fit this. He does fit Robert Saleh's thing, but he has been hurt all 3 seasons, if I'm not mistaken.
Who's running your offense?
Say, okay, watch this. It's gonna start hurt.
That's a good question.
This would be my dream scenario. My dream scenario would be we get David Shaw from Stanford. Go and tell him we got the money. We just need you. And then, I don't care who you hire at GM. I prefer it to be Elliott Wolf so we can get the talent, but I can care less. And I want to just see David Shaw with Adam Gase as OC, and as a defensive coordinator, I'll take Dan Quinn.
Okay, so guys, listen. All the chat, I need you to listen. Smitty,
Smitty,
I need you to puff up one more time because this is going to get real, okay?
All right, uh-oh.
Here we go.
So basically what Luke is saying is that he wants the Detroit Lions to be the Atlanta Falcons before they got to the Super Bowl and then go to the Super Bowl and choke and then be the biggest chokers of all time and take that off of the Falcons' head and give that to the Lions instead.
Oh my God, that's not what I'm saying. Listen, stay with me. Stay with me.
This man wants Dan Quinn and Thomas Dimitroff. Oh
no. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I said
you want Robert Saleh. It's the same thing.
No. I don't want Robert Saleh. I said I believe that's who we're taking because he's from here. He's from Michigan. He grew up here in Michigan. What I said my dream scenario would be we get David Shaw from Stanford. I want him to be the head coach.
Oh, so
you sure you're going to leave Stanford
and go get Carson Wentz? Okay, yeah. I'm following.
But listen, Lieutenant Dan, you got to understand something.
I got you.
I am looking at two things. One, the first thing I'm looking at is I want to be able to have a competent head coach. I don't care.
Everybody does.
Right, and that's the point. So to me, David Shaw is a competent head coach. Now, the reason I'm okay with Gase, the Jets' current head coach being the OC, because he was pretty lit when he was the OC. I mean, look what he did with the damn Bears. The Bears was doing stuff. I was like, oh, this is different. Like he's a good OC. Dan Quinn, I'm not saying I want him to be the damn head coach. I ain't playing that game. I like the Seahawks too. You know this, but he was a good defensive coordinator.
No, absolutely not, Luke. No,
you didn't like
as the Falcons guy who's been with Dan Quinn since 2015 up to this particular point. No, absolutely not, Luke. I don't wish that voodoo juju on you.
You hear that? He got the fear. He got fear in his voice.
I mean, listen, I didn't expect Luke,
I'm as a friend.
Are you saying that?
As someone that just got invited to your show, as a guest on your show, I would not wish that horrible hex on you. It would be a nightmare. Soft cover 3 zone. You would have 2 Vic Beasleys, and you'd be running around with 3 Deion Jones.
Yeah, but
you're not going to make a lot of plays on the ball.
Let's be fair, though, Dan.
Out too thin, and you're not going to develop players.
Let's be fair, though, Dan. Let's be fair. I'm not playing about this. He had the defense in Seattle ball.
No, that is called Pete Carroll.
You think that was Pete Carroll?
That's 100% Pete Carroll because he couldn't replicate anything in Atlanta.
He can't get it together now.
Actually, the defense
better than Atlanta's defense.
Everybody was better than Atlanta defense except for Detroit. So
the Jets defense is pretty bad, bro.
Yeah, but they just beat 2 playoff teams.
This is because they didn't want to tank for Trevor, dude. That's the whole point there. They were like, nah, Trevor's too hot for us.
It says, what about signing Marcus May, who's been a beast this year and is really underrated and is pretty inexpensive, and we need safety, and I think we need to get either him or Anthony Harris. Do you see what I mean by we need money? And it's not just the fans, but what it is this. He is identifying an area that we suck at. We really suck at safety.
I will at 100%, Luke, vote of confidence to you, good sir, and say, go get Robert Saleh. Fine, do that, but just stay away from Dan Quinn, okay, bud?
Okay.
Like I'm
listen. I'll backpedal on Dan Quinn for you because you basically. But I
go off to college.
I remember Dan Quinn from the Seattle Seahawks days, though. He was like doing this thing. Smith, you remember him on the Seattle Seahawks? How that defense was looking?
Bro, I like that defense. They're one of my favorite teams.
Bruh, he was managing that defense on a leash. The dog wasn't owned by Dan Quinn. The dog was owned by Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll owned the dog. He gave the leash to Dan Quinn and said, go take my dog for a walk.
But why the defense not performing now like they were then? And don't tell me it's not because they don't got the same player personnel. They got talent over there. It's just not the same.
What, in Atlanta or in Seattle currently?
In Seattle currently.
Well, the Legion of Bloom. Well, okay, you told me not to go onto the whole talent scenario. So if I had to take that out, I would say that a lot of defenses got figured out. I mean, most defenses got figured out. Remember, the New England Patriots defense was pretty spastic. It was pretty good for a couple of years.
That's a fair point.
And that defense got figured out just like Seattle's Legion of Boom got figured out. Robert Saleh's defense got figured out. He had to reinvent himself and actually do a little something different. If you go look at his defense compared from the last 2 years to this year, it's completely different. It's not the same stuff. Some similarities, but not necessarily the same in coverage and how they attack with their players. It's why I'm trying to tell you that if you get Dan Quinn and you put him up on this pedestal and go, his time in Seattle was when 2014.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Wade
Phillips went from head coach to DC and did okay. It's been a lot of people who went from head coach back to their actual coordinating position and did great.
Look at the travel between his time in Atlanta to where he currently is right now, and you'll understand that. Yes, injuries came into play. I saw someone in the chat say it just a little while ago. Injuries came into play, and that's why the Falcons defense didn't do well. The Falcons defense never changed. It never adapted to the things that was in front of them. And that's the reason why Dan Quinn, I don't think, could ultimately utilize Pete Carroll's identity as a whole. He knew how to what kind of players needed to be there, and he knew that, these are the certain moves that I have to make those players successful. But he didn't know how to morph and change with those players to play man, to attack with more blitzers. All he knew was to replicate what he had been taught and not innovate what he had been taught. And that's maybe the big thing that you, Smitty, and you, Luke, need to look for in a future Lions head coach is a guy. Is he innovating every single year? Is he changing his defense?
I'm not even looking for that. I'm not even looking for that, to be honest with you. What I'm looking for at this point is a person who has a proven record and experience of building a program and sustaining it. Like Bill Parcells has
then we're talking about the same thing, Luke. We're talking about the exact same thing.
We're on the same page. Now, I want to jump on this because he wants some attention. I want to give it to him. He needs this attention. What happened to Khalil Hodge, Luke? You have been wrong each and every year. What happened to Khalil Hodge? He ended up going into a draft that was flooded with a whole lot of underclassmen. and he went undrafted. You know who else went undrafted? TJ Edwards. like Amani Warrior fell to the 5th round. What are you talking about? Like, now you're just looking like a hater. You're not even taking the blue pill. You're just taking pills, period. I'm gonna need you to catch up. I mean, let's be honest. This right here is what I'm talking. This blue pill alert stuff. You see this, Lieutenant Dan? Nothing he's saying. I made a video that said Khalil Hodge is worth a 1st round pick, right? And one of the things that I loved about him as a linebacker was at that time he had led all of NCAA in tackles, not just like total tackles. I mean solo tackles for law. He had it all. And he went undrafted, and so everybody's like, "Oh, you were so hyped up on him." That does not make him a bad player. There are a lot of players that fall through the cracks. Like Snacks Harrison wasn't drafted. Richard Sherman was a 5th round pick.
I'm gonna address this to certain fans like Detroit.Sports.Alliance, and I ask this question before I get into each and every argument with any SOL fans or even football fans in general. Do you actually care about the well-being of your franchise?
Ooh, very good question.
He don't care. Everything.
No. This is a question I'm asking Detroit Legend. Do you actually care about the well-being of this franchise? Do you actually care about the players, the organization, actually wanting them to succeed? Because it sounds to me you're sounding off from a bunch of bullshit right now. You have no answers. You have no plan. So stop wasting all of our time, man. All right.
And that's my attitude. If we're talking football, you want to be objective, or even if you want to be subjective, come to me with something that I can work with. Don't just come in here to just be I want to hate today. Take that energy somewhere else. Elo says, Luke, let it go. You were wrong. Khalil didn't even make a practice squad. That's not true. He made a practice squad. They didn't keep him. It is what it is, but they didn't keep him. And again, a lot of talent slipped through the cracks. This is not nothing new, people. I don't know why you're all shocked by this. I mean, what's the tight end that's on Undisputed? Sharp? Where was he drafted?
I think 3rd, maybe 4th, I think.
No, he was late. He's like the 7th or 14th round pick or something. He was a late round pick. There's a lot of Lieutenant Dan. Is this a true statement or not? For every sport that there was a player who didn't get the opportunity to show that he was just as good or better than that person. Like there's a guy that probably never got an opportunity that was better than Jordan. There was a guy who probably never got an opportunity to show that he was better than Barry Sanders. But a lot of times it's a lot of politics. You know what I'm saying?
It's going to have to be my last question that I can answer because I got to get out of here. But
I understand it.
You can say that about a lot of things in life, like opportunities not gained and not given because of circumstance. And I think when you look at players and the opportunities that they're given on a 53-man roster plus your 10-man practice squad or whatever you have, there with those limited opportunities, those limited abilities. And, coaches will always pick favorites, and they will always, see some dude is talented and some dude is not talented, but has, quote unquote, unlocked potential. I think right now we just don't have enough teams in the NFL, or we have the perfect amount of teams, but just not enough staffing to be able to take all these players and utilize them to the best effect. So in my experience, just becoming familiar with certain players and having favorites here and there. If we had more teams, we could definitely have more opportunities for players. But maybe that's why we need another league, a completely new league to allow
why would I have
an opportunity,
Like the NFL is like the biggest sport in America and don't have a farming league. Yet baseball does.
Well, I don't think that the NFL is a sport. Just football, American football as a sport needs a farming league because I think it's not the kind of game you can do that you can do a farming league in. But I think you could have a promotion relegation system without question. But a lot of fans don't want to have to hear that because they don't want to have to get out of the realm of comfort with 32 teams and everybody has a chance to make the playoffs. But that's just, I guess that's an opinion for another day. But thank you for inviting me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Listen, I'm gonna hit you up again. Like I said, we're gonna have to finish talking about this because I believe that they're gonna take Thomas Dimitroff as general manager, and I bet that they're going to take Robert Saleh. When that happens, I'm gonna definitely come and join you or get you back on here so we can talk about it. All right.
Let's do it, man.
All right. Appreciate you coming on, man.
Hey, man.
Smitty, man. Like you said, like we can see right here, I want to answer some questions from you guys. So any questions y'all want, put them in the chat. I'm gonna knock them out. It says, what about just one big signing and then other role players being signed? I would be happy if our only big signing was Bud Dupree or Justin. Is Bud Dupree gonna be gone?
I'm not sure.
Wait a minute. Is he gonna be a free agent?
If he is, we better go get him.
I don't know. I mean, listen. If we were to hold to this right here, let's say we were to keep the Lieutenant Dan's approach, and I'll even add Stafford back because Lieutenant Dan had Stafford June 1st cut, and we got $38 million. You know, if you're talking about doing something like that, and you can go and sign people, I'm not gonna knock signing anybody who can improve this defense. Will Bud Dupree be an upgrade of what we got? Yes. Yes. But if I was doing this and trying to get money, obviously Stafford is not a cut. I'm not willing to take that cap hit. I'm just not. And so for me, it's not worth it. It's not worth the cap hit. But this right here is a good start. And even with this, that's $18 million that you got to add on really quick and swiftly. So I'm cool with that. So first of all, let me see. So like I said, any questions you want to put in here, we'll hit on them. Smitty. Let me see. Danny Bonaducci. Is that what's that comedian? Hey, that guy or that Ace? I'm drawing a blank. Danny Bonaducci. That name sounds familiar, man. You got to be going to my mental Rolodex. I think, is that Happy Days? Oh, really quick, I got to put this out here, man. RIP, if y'all did not hear, the movie Lean on Me that was inspired by a principal who took over a high school named Joe Clark passed away recently, so RIP to him. One of my favorite movies was Breaking. If you've never seen Breaking and you love break dancing and all that stuff, you got to see Breaking. It's the one reason why people are dancing with brooms these days. So you definitely got to check that out. But Shabadoo passed away as well. So RIP to both of them. I just wanted to put that out there. Now, let's see what else we got here. Sharp got drafted in the 7th. I knew it was late. Bro, I'm not hating. You're going to have wrong takes sometimes. It's the business. Just admit it and move on. If I'm wrong, I don't have a problem admitting it. But to sit there and say I'm wrong about Khalil Hodge, I can't be wrong about Khalil Hodge because my view was that he's a good player.
Luke, at that point, he's just nitpicking at that.
Well, he's just saying that it's part of the business. But I'm just saying, if I think a person is a good player, and then they get on the field and show that they're not, that's one thing. But just because they don't get drafted, don't make them not a good player. That's not how this works. That's not the nature of the business. There's more supply than the demand. That's what it is. I would definitely join the farm league, though. I would. I think we can figure out a way to get it to work. I might have missed earlier, but what are your opinions on re-signing Galladay? I'm okay if we re-sign him, and I'm okay if we don't, because to me, receivers come a dime a dozen. I was more upset when we re-signed Danny Amendola for that $6 million. I'm pretty sure you share that same reasoning, right, Smitty?
$6 million for 1 year. That's a lot to take in right there.
I mean, but it was $6 million for 1 year, and he got $6 million for like 678 yards and a touchdown. Like, what the hell? This year he got like 5 something. He got one more game where he's got to get like almost 100 and something yards and a touchdown to even be back in line with what his last year's stats were. So I don't know. I think the XFL should have tapped into the 18 to 25 age range. Been the new NCAA paid players to develop. Oh, that's a good idea. I don't know why they didn't. It says, the Steelers can't afford board. Oh, y'all, man, Bud Dupree might be worth it if the money is there. Jimbo Luigi was talking about
Robert Saleh's defense, though.
Who Who? Bud Dupree?
Yeah.
Yeah. Bud Dupree would be like his Nick Bosa or like his Nick Bosa. Really? I mean, essentially, Bud Dupree, when he was coming out, was a guy that we wanted. I remember it was a guy that we wanted. I knew we was never going to get him, but similar to how we wanted the other guy that went to Jacksonville, and he came up one pick short before we got T.J. Hockenson. So, but yeah, I knew you weren't talking about me. Obviously, got issues. I knew that. I wasn't taking that. Smitty, where's the bitches? I caught that reference. I caught that one. He's silly for that one. Yes, he will be. That's what's up. Luke, did you look up Jalen Tweedyman from Pitt? I did. Look him up, 1 Pride 40, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I was not impressed. Again, I'm a snob when it comes to two positions. I'm gonna be honest about it. Linebacker and D-line. Those two positions, I'm very snobbish because when I played DN and I've also played linebacker. And so when I played, I really took a key into what's going on with those positions, and the little things matter. He just didn't show me an array of pass rush moves. Is there any particular player in the draft, Smitty, that you really want, that you just like, man, if we can get this guy, I'm happy?
You seen the DE from Miami?
DE. Gregory Rasul.
He reminds me of Ziggy Ansah.
That's why I don't want him. It's too raw. Ziggy performed because we had a Ndamukong Suh and a host of other people on that D line that you had to pay attention to. And then when they left, he still had a good performance, but most of those were just him. They ran into him, and I'm like, I take it, but I don't want the raw players, man. It scares me. The raw player scares me. Angelo says, are there any coaches or GMs you want to stay away from? What about you, Smitty? Any coaches or GMs you want to stay away from?
Shoot. I really don't care at this point, though. They're still doing all their jobs, and well, it's hard to pinpoint a favorite.
I don't want Dan Quinn as a head coach. I don't want Adam Gase as a head coach.
Yeah.
I don't want Jim Caldwell back. I don't want
Who did they want Jim Caldwell back?
A lot of Lions fans, like a lot of them. I even heard bring back Jim Schwartz. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. In terms of general managers, really, it's really a few of them I can think of. But number one for me is Louis Riddick. I want no parts of Louis Riddick. The resume does not stack up to the rest of the other candidates. It just don't, and that bothers me. And I really do care about experience. We need to build a team smart with wise thinking and smart choices. I am in agreement with you. I'm 100% in agreement with you, and I think we should too. What do you think about us drafting Jay Tuffley in the first round to help our D-line? Tuffley. Okay, I'm trying to think. What school is that? What number is that and what school? I keep telling you, I really do remember their school and the numbers better because it's too many names to be trying to pronounce and keep up with. But tell me what school is he at and what number he is if you can. That'll help me. Y'all smoking crack, don't you? You smoke crack, don't you? Yeah. That's the shout out for Mr. Joe Clark who passed away. So RIP to him. One Pride Nature says, "Hey, what's going on, brother?" He's and also, whatever solid goes, Sherman is going to go the same. I don't want Sherman. I don't want it. Like, to me, Sherman is not somebody that I really want. I really want to let my young guys play, and Sherman does not allow them to do that.
He's too damn good.
If you bring in Sherman in, who's going to the slot? You're gonna if you put a Kud at the slot, then y'all really mad. 3rd overall pick at the slot. Okay.
Will we really see a big difference if we move them to a safety?
Yes. His spatial awareness is dope. I've always appreciated his spatial awareness. It's dope. Like all them open field tackles he was making on screens and stuff, that's safety type stuff. But when I'm watching people just straight run past you, they're not even doing a juke, they're not stuttering, they ain't shook their head, they just ran past you. That's not
like Tavai. Oh. Like Jelani Tavai.
Look, this guy, he really wants some attention. Blue pill alert, people. Look at this. Luke G make excuses and try to point out things that's pointless. Like he say, quote, he would keep the old line because they are solid. What's wrong with the old line? How many people we got to upgrade on the old line?
Not many.
Y'all notice this is all criticism. Ain't nothing in here objective. All emotions. This is what females do. All emotions. You gotta give me some objectivity if you're gonna come and be critical of me. Give me something objective. If you're telling me the offensive line suck, tell me why. If you're telling me that the offensive line need upgraded, tell me who needs to be upgraded. And then tell me who you're gonna upgrade them with. Don't just come telling me all this other stuff. At this point, you just look emotional. But our quarterbacks are consistently sacked and hurt and under pressure. Okay. Luke, is there any way we could get rid of Trey Flowers' contract? I don't see how. Even in this example, right? Even in this example, if you look right here, let's go to where is he at? Trey Flowers. Even right here, it's a negative hit if you just straight cut him. And if you make him a June 1st cut, you're still only getting $4 million, but you're taking 15 in dead million. The 15 in dead money. So it's like, I don't really see a way for you to get rid of him. Like, to be honest, in terms of Trey Flowers, so no, I'm going to say a no to that. I don't see how you can get rid of him. It would be nice if we could, but I don't see it. Solid love fast edge rushers. I know, which is why if Bud Dupree is there, you definitely want to have the money to get him. Trey Flowers is not a fast pass rusher. Nah, but he can play 3, and he can rush the edge, and he can play D, and he can do a lot of stuff. So
I don't understand play linebacker ever again.
I hate when they drop him in the coverage.
It's disgusting.
It says hopefully Stafford doesn't play Sunday. Well, that's up to the Lions brass. They got to be the smart ones to not put him in the game. They're not going to do it. I take you don't like Reeves Maben for special teams. Yeah. If you tell me that we can get him for special teams, I'm cool with that. Bud Dupree would be nice. How much will he cost? That's the part I got to think about, because I would then have to go and look at what the top 5 average people at his position is making, and then I have to look at how their stats measure to his, and I could almost guesstimate what he would probably be looking for money-wise. But I didn't realize he was going to be a free agent, to be honest with you. Jalen Phillips, also with the Miami, are better than Russo. I still got to watch Jalen Phillips. I still didn't watch it yet. I feel like I remember him, but I still got to go and watch it. Phillips from the U, Bud Dupree is going to want big contract, and unfortunately, we're paying Flowers so much money for less production. Dude, I saw this stat the other day. I was just looking at something. I wanted to kind of compare it, and so what I did was I looked at the seasons, and I said, okay, Trey Flowers has been here 2 seasons, and Romeo Okwara has been here 3 seasons, but Romeo Okwara only started in like a few games in his 1 season and still only had 1 sack. But nonetheless, he still had more sacks and pressures than Trey Flowers. And I'm like, yo, that's a guy we're not even paying that kind of money to get more production out of him than we are out of the guy who can't even be available to play. I played linebacker. What was you, Mike? Sam, weak, or what were you? Tell me what you was. I was a middle. I was middle.
I was defensive line 9 technique.
Really?
Yeah.
How big are you?
I'm like, I want to say 6'4", 6'5", 205.
Really? Bro, I would have never get. I figured you were like in the 6 feet range, but 6'4". Nah, I would have never. Hey, okay. See, when I played DN, I was more like a 3-4 outside rusher, and I hated it. I hated it. I just at middle linebacker, I was like in like Nirvana, boy. I can just do whatever I want. Oh my God, I was in rare form. Except for changing plays and getting benched for it, but that's another story. Luke, who are your top 3 quarterbacks in order should be taken in the top 10? I go Wilson. Well, wait, are we including all of them? Because I don't think we including just the ones I got a shot at, top dog. Let me know. Are we including the ones I got a shot at? Because if I got a shot at them, then that's different. But if you're talking about in general, then I give you a different list. The best player we can take for our D line is no.
Would he pay? Who's that?
From Michigan, no.
Oh god damn it.
No. I'm gonna tell you why. Go and watch his game. Was it Penn State? I want to say it was Penn State. Go and watch his game from Penn State. You can YouTube this. Look up Pay versus Penn State. And just watch how he get off blocks and how he play the run. And no, I'm good. I'm good on him. Not picking that 7. Bring Jim back. Which one? Jim Schwartz, Jim Caldwell. Which Jim you want back? Let's see. We got let me see. I want Khalil Mack. I don't think we can get Khalil Mack, and I wouldn't. We can. And I wouldn't even. You know what it's going? Look what they gave us to get him. You think they're going? Man, nah. They just thought
them. That's for sure.
Yeah, but how much we gonna have to pay? I'm not paying that kind of money. How many more years you think Matt got in him? 3, 4?
Possibly 4.
You got more faith than I do.
I got the number for Bud Dupree. What they're currently paying him right now.
What he currently make?
He's on a 1-year deal, $15 million.
Oh yeah, he finna get paid. No, we can't do that. What was his stats looking like for this season?
Yeah, he's on IR, I believe. He got a torn ACL.
Oh, so that price is coming down. Oh, see how the tables turn that quick for me? Yeah, okay, I'm with it. Yeah, because now you can do some things with that. That ain't the first time he done been hurt. So yeah, okay.
I'd rather have Hassan Reddick though.
I think they're gonna like get him like a short-term deal. Jimbo G says, how much impact you think they will make? We still need someone up the middle and outside up front. I don't. That's the problem. I don't. I like Pennicini. That's our middle guy. And they can always bring back Danny Shelton. So it's not going to kill. 78 from USC. That one not ringing a bell. 78 from USC. I'm going to look him up, though, since you told me about him. But it's not ringing a bell. I was hoping you was talking about the guy that's on Georgia, 13, but I can't remember his name neither. But yeah, 78 from USC. I think Tuffle and Kawhi make an immediate impact. I don't like Pay at all, man. You should look up Amee McNeil, North Carolina State. Okay, I'll look him up. I don't know who that is. I'll look him up. You put Coleman in the slot. Man, I'm tired of Coleman.
Wait. Can we go back to the free agency? No. Can we go back to the cut list? Is Coleman still on there?
Yes.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, but let me see. You get $4 million. Let me see if we make him a June 1st cut.
I don't give a damn. Get rid of him.
Oh, yeah, you make him a June 1st cut, yeah.
Don't give a damn.
Look, June 1st cut, you save $9 million right off rip, and you only take a $2 million kit. Yeah, June 1st cut, yeah, let's do it. Get him out of here. Like my attitude to it is a lot of I believe that the head coach coming in is going to bring in guys that fit what he's doing. So yeah, I mean, yeah, that it still puts you at like $27 million. So not bad. At Detroit.Sports.Alliance, our O-line is actually decent. The problem is we don't have receivers who generate separation, and we don't commit to the run. But don't tell nobody that who take blue pills. It's not good for you. Red pill people don't be getting caught up in blue pill people. They will make you sick. They will make you sick. I have seen too many times how some of these blue pill people will come in and they are posers. They are just posers. They think they know the sport because they play Madden. And sometimes they'll talk to me and I'll be feeling like this. That's how I be feeling. Like I'm just surrounded. I got nowhere to go. I got nowhere to be. It's just me chilling. But that's what happens when you got all these blue pill fans who just who think everything is just so easy, so peaceful.
If it's so easy, why aren't they general managers?
You know how that works. And Sherman would be perfect for Okudah and Omani. I think he takes away opportunity. Like, it's one of the reasons why I didn't want Danny Amendola, because I felt like it was going to take away opportunity from TJ Hockenson. But lucky for them, they said, F Danny Amendola, we're going to get the ball to our tight end. So good. Do y'all think Jared Davis is gone or could be re-signed? What do you think, Smitty?
I don't know. He's been in like 2 different regimes now. If he would have gotten his skill down, he would have done so already.
I think he comes back, especially if we get Robert Saleh. Now, if we get an offensive coordinator, he's gone. Like, if we get an offensive coordinator to be the head coach, he's gone. So let me see. No to Sherman. We need more than that on defense. Yeah, we need a lot on defense. I think Jared Davis needs to be re-signed. I think he will be re-signed. Lou G, get me on the call. Levin allowed the chat needs some education. Are you on Twitter, Elo?
Oh, okay.
You on Twitter? I'll add you in real quick. Let me know if you're on Twitter. And if you are, then go to my Twitter, shoot me a message, and I'll add you in. Let's see. No Davis needs to go. One Pride Nation. Why? Tell me why One Pride Nation. Why he needs? If you're telling me he needs to go, then who's our linebacker? Christian Jones. So you get rid of Christian Jones, you get rid of Jared Davis, you left with Jamie Collins.
Jamie Collins ain't bad, but he's a far cry of what we need.
Them missed tackles has been a. I'm gonna leave it alone. Sherman is slow. Okudah is too. I mean, if we being honest, maybe Flowers will be good with the next regime. I think he will be, Craig. I think he will be. I think that you can definitely use him, and I think that they can find ways to utilize him in a way. So, to let Davis go would be dumb. You ain't got to tell me. He did good in coverage. What the F? Remember Falcons game? He did good in coverage. Who?
I think it's talking about Okudah.
Who they saying did good in coverage? I don't know who said that. I didn't say that. Did I say Davis did good in coverage? I don't know. Maybe I'm behind. Davis has been very underrated. He can tackle. He is one of the most underrated inside linebackers when it comes to the blitzing. Hell, taking on blockers is just a simple thing. Bud Dupree will want about 12 million. Now, you got to go a little bit higher than that. He going to want about 14, 15. But you can negotiate some differences based on the injury history. It's got to be somewhere in that range, like between that 11 to 16, somewhere in there. Flowers was an absolute bust. I mean, it's the hardest thing for me to do. I do look at players and I will say, like, dang, this one sucks. Like, I won't even call Okudah a bust. I won't even call him that because I thought that the defensive scheme and the coaching was that bad. Like, that's how bad it was. My problem with people like Deron Hartman is I don't like safeties who wait for contact to come to them or who take bad angles. They're in that Saints game. Oh, can I show y'all this? Let me see if I can show y'all this. Give me a second. I'm gonna show you. In that Saints game, I'm almost 100% sure that in that Saints game, that Deron Hartman had done dirty by Elvin Kamara while Elvin Kamara was breaking off 2 tackles, and he was the third guy coming in. And I started questioning at that moment, how is he not coming in cleaning this guy's clock? Like, that's how frustrated I am when it comes to Deron Hartman. Like, it just should not be this case. So let me see if I can find it. And I think it might have been on. Was it on a Jared Davis clip? I think it was on a Jared Davis clip. Maybe it was Deron Hartman or Jared Davis. But let's see. And I want y'all to see this. And I can show y'all other plays. But you wouldn't even believe it if I showed you. So let me go down here and we'll get to hopefully they don't ban me. Y'all better not freaking ban me. I'm so scared, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. You know what? I'm gonna probably do it short. If I do it short, it should be good. But I'm gonna show you some of the things that Deron Hartman does that makes me want to puke. like I just want y'all to really get into it and see like what he do that makes me want to puke. So here we go. Let's see. All right. So while we talking, I'm gonna let this play a little bit and this stuff. So keep the questions coming. I'm gonna let this play a little bit, and then I'll show y'all what I mean. Like this right here is the Bucks game, and I got so many examples where it's just like, yo, what is this? Like, what is this? Okay, so let me just do like this. All right, I'm finna show you guys what I mean. All right, here we go. I'm finna show y'all what I mean. I'm doing this for y'all. I pray to God that I do not get freaking banned for this. But I want to show y'all what my problem is. All right? I want to show y'all what my problem is with Deron Hartman. Listen, everybody was bad that game, but it was things about his safety play that I just don't understand. Smitty, I don't know how much of a fan you are when it comes to Deron Hartman, but I am not on that train. So let's see. Is this thing gonna let me do it or not? All right, let's see. Can y'all see that? Let me know if y'all can see that. Can you see that, Smitty?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make it big so y'all can see what I mean. So right here, first of all, let's understand something. It's 1st and 10. Right here is Deron Hartman. Right there. Now, the ball is going to Mr. Mike Evans from right here. I believe that's Roberts, the cornerback, but just watch this. He's the one high safety. Watch this. At this point, you see my man's on the ground. He don't fail. Right? He don't fail. This guy underneath has got a guy trailing with him. Right? These two guys are underneath him. So you ain't going here. Tom Brady ain't throwing it over here. He in position. He's looking at Mike Evans. He's looking at him. Look at this crap. He's looking at him. Now let's see how long it took him to get over there. And then he the one that gets the... Okay, better angle. Here he is up here. Here go Mike Evans. Poor cornerback play. Get a hand on him now. Smack him. Watch this. It's just not pretty, man. It's nothing about this guy that stands out. It's just nothing about him. Like, bro, like this can't happen. Here we are again. He right here. This probably be the last clip I show because I don't want to get banned. Look, he right here. Look at this. He's like, look at this. You gotta come up and hit this man. Have some. Look at this. Look at break. No, right there, break. Now watch this. Man, he should have already been coming. And so when I look at stuff like that, I'm like, we got to move on. Now, that wasn't even the worst of it. That wasn't even the worst of it. That was just me showing y'all that he's not even playing fast. And when he's not playing fast, he's not even giving you pop. You see what I'm saying? So to me, why keep a player like that? You see what I'm saying? You agree with that, Smitty? You think we can upgrade from him?
Yeah. If we can upgrade a rock, take it.
If they bring in Salah, I hope we bring back Coach K.
I'm not objected to that. I did say on our last. I did say that if Robert Saleh is going to be our next coach, I want to see Chris Kirchek as DC.
He might. It was rumored.
That man needs his just due as a coordinator.
Oh, Ramona New Age got a good video idea. You should make a video of all the defensive players you would replace and with who. I can do that. I can definitely do that. Let me take a screenshot of that. I can do that. All right. Now, let me get through a few more questions, and then I'm going to get up out of here. Smitty, can we talk about this defense for a minute? Did you realize that if the Lions give up 35 points or more, if they give up 35 points or more to the Minnesota Vikings, 35 points will automatically put them in the same boat that they were in 2008. And if they go over 35 points, they will have set a new franchise record for the most points given up by a defense as a Detroit Lions.
That's pretty piss poor.
I mean, look, it is what it is.
And it seems unavoidable at this point.
Now, Elo says that short post was definitely the linebacker's fault. Patrick Quin is defending that ball. True, but the safety is there at the last line of defense. And the moment he saw that break, you gotta come up flying. But because he don't come up flying, they all fall forward and end up being the ones giving out the punishment. So he's got to do a better job at coming up and being the aggressor. If that was Ed Reed and that linebacker messed up, how you think that ends? That's Troy Polamalu. Scratch that. That's Jamal Adams. Micah Fitzpatrick. Hell, Michael Jenkins. You think they're just gonna let that? No, they coming up to play the ball, to play, they make the hit, and that's where he lacks.
It's almost like Harmon is afraid to hit.
Dude, listen. Hold on, let me see if I can find this other one. I don't want to get in no trouble, y'all.
You can't play the game that way.
I don't want to get in no trouble, y'all, but I'm finna find it.
Oh, and I found an idea of who they going to cut, who they have cutting. They would release Jesse James, Nick Williams, Justin Coleman, Chase Daniel, Christian Jones, Desmond Trufant, and Danny Shelton.
Well, if we can get Cap, we can add players. We can do a lot of stuff. Oh my God! You know what? Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna show y'all this. I hope I don't get banned, people. I'm doing this for y'all. I'm doing this for y'all. All right, watch this. Deron Hartman makes me want to puke. Like, I'm dead serious. He literally makes me want to puke. All right, let me get this screen big. Screen big. Let me get this off the screen. All right, here we go. It is literally 2nd and 7. Here go Deron Hartman. Let's put this in slow-mo. Deron Hartman, when you gonna start running, bro? When you gonna start running? Okay, you running now?
Why is he waiting so long?
Wait, though. Watch this. He stops. Bruh. Look, he let him get by. Like, it's Alvin Kamara, man. Just hit him.
Hey, if Alvin Kamara's trying to get into my backfield, there's no way in hell I'm
just hit him. Hold on. Let me show you some more. I don't want to get in no trouble. I don't want to get in no trouble. I just want y'all to see. Like, this is why he gotta go. He has to go. There's no reason for this. There's no reason for this. And the worst part about it when I look at him is I always sit there and see him just sitting there waiting. What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Like, I want you to care. I want you to feel like you have a sense of urgency, a reason to be in the play. I don't get that out of him.
We both play defense. The sense of urgency is always there. Always.
Like I said, it's one of them things where I genuinely just wonder, like, what he can do. I'm going through the clips with it off the air so I can see it, but I wanted to point it out to y'all. I'm not even gonna waste no energy showing that one. That's just pathetic. I'm not gonna not gonna waste my energy with that one. I'm literally just randomly clicking clips, people, and trying to figure out why. Let me see how this one went down. Let's see what happened with this. Just hot garbage. I'm not even wasting no energy on that. Smitty, what do you want to tell the people, man, before we get up out of here, man? Because I just I love that dude's game. Who?
After this
part. Oh, J-Ron Brown.
Ooh.
Oh man. It says, Luke, what about letting Davis walk and trade in the 5th round? Signing J-Ron Brown. I don't think, man, listen, we get J-Ron Brown, I'd be shocked. I'd be shocked. But don't the Titans use him as like a, well, he do kind of play inside and outside, but I think I see him at outside more. But how would he fit in Robert Saleh's defense is the question. That's the question. Darius Washington, 5'8". No, we're not doing that. I mean, hell, Devontae Adams. Look at the receivers in our division. They're all big. No. He better be a hitter. I'm had to go and look at that again. I thought the Titans let him go. I do too. Let's see. Any other questions y'all got for me? What's going on, Devin 99? I'm gonna try to get in there. Fred Warner spot. Maybe. Dolo Dynamite, yeah, he's small, but he hits hard and is excellent in zone coverage. I'm going to go and look at some more film on a lot of people, so y'all can start putting those names in there. Smitty, what you got for final words for the people?
After this podcast, I want the fans to actually ask themselves, do I care about this? Do I care about the well-being of this franchise? Do I have a plan? Do I have points? Do I have anything resembling the future? Not with tanking, not with emotion, but a legit. I want you to answer. I want everyone to answer that. Do you actually care about the well-being of this franchise, or do you just like complaining about it to get like a free ride, like some people I know?
Okay. For me, man, I care, and it's one of the reasons why I try so hard to be objective. I really do. I try hard to be objective. I don't know it all. I'm going to be wrong. I was wrong about us taking Isaiah Simmons. I have said many times what I was wrong about, but apparently people don't hear that, but it don't matter. I go by film, people. I don't go by emotions. I go by film. Boy, that Paris Ford from Pittsburgh, don't get me started. He remind me, Paris Ford remind me of like Cam Chancellor for real. He just won't contact. A lot of times he can probably make a play on the ball. He would rather hit you. I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing. Quincy Roach in the 2nd round, 100%. Quincy Roach. School and number, please. School and number. Here's my final thought, people. We are a few hours away from saying goodbye to 2020. I'm going to try to see if I can do something tomorrow, maybe earlier in the day for 2020, just to have a little fun. But again, I cannot stress this enough because it is one of the biggest days that people drink on. And I know we've been cooped up. I really do want to hear from you. I don't want to hear about you. I want to hear from you. And so I'm begging basically to take this second to think. Just because you can hold your liquor don't mean that the next person can. Please be careful and be safe while you are out here celebrating and enjoying those who are around you. This year has not been kind to too many people, including myself. But there are some things in this year that I have taken with me to prepare me for the next. And I hope that you do the same. Smitty, thank you for coming on and thank you for wanting to join us. Shout out to my man, Lieutenant Dan from Unintentional Grounding for checking it out. And let me see. Hold on. What did he say? I want to make sure I ain't missed nothing. Nick Bolton from Missouri. Don't get me started on him. I don't even think we're gonna need a 1st round pick for him, but he may go in the 1st round. And I don't know if he declared yet. I think he got to still declare. I don't know. Paris Ford, the hardest hitting safety in this draft. That boy like contact. Xavier Collins is available in a second. We got to jump on him. Or Quincy Roach. Xavier Collins. Tulsa? Is that Tulsa? 23? I think. All right. I think. Don says, great show, fellas. As always, appreciate it. Let me see who else is in the building. One more thing, Luke. Please look up Jalen Darden from North Texas. 19 touchdowns this year. I don't know how far he falls, but he's absolutely dynamic. Peace and love. Is he playing receiver? What is he playing? Quarterback? 19 touchdowns. That's a lot of damn touchdowns. What is he playing? Running back? I'm gonna definitely look that name up. You can believe that. I'm like 19 touchdowns. What the hell he do? I'm looking at it right now. Just so I can put that on my radar. Let me put that right now on my radar. So appreciate that. Because I'm like a Kadarius Toney too from Florida. I think he'll be a good little sneaky pick in my opinion. But what the hell do I know? Again, people, just be safe. Be safe. Be responsible. Make sure you get back to those people who love you, and make sure you get back so you can keep those haters who hate you mad. You don't give people benefit of the doubt, man. Just be safe as always, and as always, don't be no chump. Please do your research.